I don't know.
Thank you, because I don't want people will hear that and think I do that.
Well, I don't know if you do it, but
Do you have any reason to think I do that?
I don't know.
Do you have any reason to think I do that? Is what I said.
Because you just said that. You said you cracking a joke with Joe. Like,
But you cracking a joke with Joe?
I don't know. Listen, what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, go ahead.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
I think the people need to see this show.
Hey, you got. Oh my God!
Hey, guess what? It's going out.
It's going out.
What's the mean? What we did last week?
Just want to care about what people shouldn't see, then shut up.
Then don't say
this
it. This
is going out.
I'm comfortable with everything I'm saying.
This is going right out.
I love you, Flip.
I love you too.
FedEx too.
But no, I don't backbite. As a matter of fact,
next to it.
The tracking link.
As a matter of fact, you know I don't, because whatever you've ever told me, you know ain't never come out, and whatever ever happened that I witnessed to, I ain't never said about.
Yeah,
like even when that,
we kept your secrets, nigga.
I'm not gonna say it because then I say.
What secrets?
And can't nobody up here say nothing different.
What
Your
secrets?
secret.
Kept your secrets, boy.
What secrets?
We know your secrets.
I'll tell you off air. I'm not even going to allude to it on here, because I don't move that way.
See, this is loyal.
That's not loyal.
Not that you do. This lawyer ain't gonna blow you up in front of millions.
What you talking about?
No, and to be clear for the ones, it ain't nothing personal. It ain't about personal life. I don't want to make it sound like that because I want people to think.
Oh, you talking about anything that I tell you that happened? I can talk about,
and it's for you to talk about. What I'm saying.
So anything that
I'm saying, I won't.
So if you allude to it, because you say a lot of tricky words.
No, I don't. So I say regular words that's tricky to you.
Tricky words.
That's another thing you do, right? Like, you the busiest man in the world. You spend 1,000 hours trying to communicate and speak to people to be accepted by people that this community that just built through the community. I don't need to do that.
That's our job.
I believe in myself.
That's
and I believe
our
in what I do.
job.
No, our job is to come up here and work and show and put our best foot forward.
And that's what I do.
That's our job. Plus, do other behind the scenes.
You mean like promote the show?
To try to win favor. You try to win favors.
You mean like fan engagement?
You try to win favors.
All right, period.
To me, you try to win favors.
With the fans?
And then on top of that, even if you do win favors, even if you do win favors, you try to point out everything else that nobody do. That suckers me.
When do I do that?
You try to point out.
Don't call me a sucker no more. 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 Don't call me a sucker no more.
That's sucker shit. I'm not calling you. I'm saying that's sucker shit. I can take that. I'm not calling you. I'm saying that's sucker. You're not a sucker, but that's
and I'm telling you, you say that sucker shit, I take it like you saying it to me. So I'm saying,
what I'm saying.
Let's do this. Let's both calm down. No. I'm saying let's both calm down. Let's both calm down because I'm telling you right now, the way you talking to me, I'm taking a different way. So let's both calm down.
So what does that mean, though?
I'm saying let's talk like brothers.
You don't gotta say that.
I'm saying
because what you
and you ain't gotta say that sucker. So I'm saying let's both.
You're not a sucker, but I said the behavior that sucker shit to me.
Then we good. Then we good. Now let's get back to the show.
But that's why you saying that?
Because when you say that sucker shit, I take that as disrespectful, and I take that as to me.
Don't like suckers.
To me, so I'm trying to tell you.
But there's a lot of you saying that we take disrespectful, but for the
and it's not that you say that I take disrespectful. Nigga, I'm not gonna talk about it on air because I'm not you.
I'm afraid.
So at the end of the day, I'm not you. This is what you do, and then I'm gonna leave the shit alone.
All right.
No, fuck that. No, fuck that. No. Imani, I'm not trying. I'm not potting. I'm not potting. Nigga, what you doing? Are we talking or we potting?
Y'all are making.
We can talk outside or we can pot. And let's talk outside.
Mark and Flip.
No, don't.
Mark and Flip. It's not fuck. No, y'all can talk outside. No, y'all not outside. And you're not in this hallway. Not in this hallway, you're not. Yeah, y'all take that up to a project block or somewhere. Yeah, what are y'all talking about?
Let's pot. That's what I said. This is all dumb shit. We pot. No, exactly. Let's pot.
Y'all can't scare my new.
There are moments in public life when the room seems to breathe on its own, when conversation becomes a storm, when words cease to belong to their speakers and instead begin to move like weather across faces. What began as laughter or light sparring transforms into something rawer, older, more elemental. You can see it in the way voices tighten, in the tremor of a hand resting on a table, in the uneasy silence that gathers between syllables. That is the moment Joe Budden knows too well. The instant when talk stops being performance and starts being survival. For years, he has built his living from that narrow line between honesty and spectacle. The podcast, his church and his battlefield, is a place where men, brash, wounded, brilliant, and proud, come to speak their truths in front of an audience that hungers for realness but will not forgive vulnerability. It is a space both sacred and profane, where confession masquerades as content and humor covers the scent of fear. When Marc Lamont and Queenzflip sat at his table, surrounded by cameras and microphones, the room was thick with that old tension. The desire to be seen without being exposed, to dominate without destroying. What began as harmless banter soon mutated into something else. A joke about presence, about purpose, about who brings what to the table, turned into a question of worth. One man offered a compliment to another, but like all compliments given in public, it carried the quiet poison of implication. It named one person's gift and left the other unnamed. In that omission, pride began to stir. A second man, larger in voice and energy, felt the weight of that silence pressing against him. What was left unsaid became louder than what was spoken. This is how many conflicts among men begin, not with insult, but with the faint shadow of hierarchy. The room becomes a courtroom. The eyes of the audience become the jury. Each man, bound by the unwritten codes of ego and respect, feels compelled to defend his standing. Every word that follows is less about meaning and more about territory. You can hear it in their cadence, the need to reclaim space, to assert that one's name carries its own gravity. Joe, sitting between them, knew the rhythm of escalation. He has lived it in music, in interviews, in the volatile intimacy of male friendship. He could feel when conversation became contest. And as the words sharpened, as laughter curdled into interruption, he did what the host must do. He tried to lower the temperature, to restore the illusion that this was all still entertainment. But there are fires that cannot be put out with jokes. What makes the scene so magnetic is not its novelty, but its familiarity. It is the eternal dance of pride and misunderstanding. The way two men, both articulate and intelligent, can slip into combat over tone, over implication, over the ghost of disrespect. Each insists he's only clarifying, only standing on truth, yet with every clarification the wound deepens. The audience, hungry for authenticity, senses blood. The cameras do not blink. Marc Lamont Hill, the academic and television veteran, carries himself with a certain composure, a man who has lived his life in conversation with power, who understands the delicate balance between intellect and humility. Queenzflip, forged in the wild theater of online culture, radiates a different energy, unfiltered, spontaneous, instinctive. Between them lies a generational and stylistic gulf, not of ideology, but of rhythm. One speaks in measured prose, the other in motion and music. Both believe they are defending integrity. As the exchange intensifies, language becomes a weapon of precision and confusion. Each man insists on being understood, yet neither can hear the other. Pride amplifies every syllable, history crowds every pause. What began as an argument about words becomes an argument about who gets to define reality. Is an old story, older than hip-hop or academia, older than microphones or fame, the struggle of men to be seen without being diminished. Joe once again becomes the reluctant referee in a sport that thrives on chaos. He is both conductor and custodian of his fragile communion. The irony of his role is that he built his career on volatility. His best moments as a broadcaster come when he leans into discomfort, when he allows emotion to spill across the table. But there is a line between compelling and combustible, and he knows too well what happens when that line disappears. In his voice, as he pleads for calm, there is fatigue, the exhaustion of someone who understands that performance is never just performance. The tension that plays out in front of microphones is only the visible part of a larger struggle, one that exists in the personal histories of these men. The need to prove worth, the fear of invisibility, the suspicion that one's own labor is undervalued. In such a space, even kindness becomes competitive. When Joe warns them not to take it outside, his voice carries more than practical concern. It carries the memory of 1,000 rooms where pride spilled into violence, where men who loved one another could not step back from the edge. The phrase, "don't take it outside," is not just about disturbing the neighbors. It is about refusing to let the machinery of ego grind friendship into rubble. He is not only protecting the podcast, but the fragile possibility of brotherhood itself. There is something deeply human in that moment. Two men circling around misunderstanding, a third trying to hold the structure together. It reveals the contradictions of our time, how public conversation has become a form of performance, how friendship must coexist with spectacle, how masculinity continues to wrestle with itself in front of an audience. What we witness here is not simply conflict, it is ritual. The podcast is the modern barbershop, the new church basement, the living room after midnight where the masks of composure slip and the truth of how men speak to each other emerges. But in this version, the ritual is televised. Vulnerability, instead of being private, becomes monetized. Every flicker of emotion is recorded, every sharp inhale preserved for replay. what was once conversation becomes content, and what was once reconciliation becomes strategy. Marc and Flip, in their argument, are not only speaking to each other, they are performing for millions. Each word must carry double weight, honesty for the room, entertainment for the audience. And in that dual burden lies the tragedy of modern media. Sincerity is desired, but only insofar as it can be packaged. Joe's attempt to restore calm is also an attempt to reclaim control of that packaging. He knows that anger sells, but destruction does not. He knows that viral moments are currency, but chaos can bankrupt the brand. In his plea, there is the shrewdness of a producer and the desperation of a friend. He must keep the show alive without sacrificing the people who make it possible. In that moment, we see him not as a provocateur, but as a caretaker. His voice softens, urging them to let it go, to remember where they are. He reminds them of proximity, of neighbors who can hear, of the world beyond the studio walls.